Okay, start. On the headlines tonight, youth vote drives 81.65% turnout, record high for midterm elections according to the COMELEC. Senior citizens flock to Kadiwa stores as 20 pesos per kilo rice program officially launches. Philippines and Germany sign a defense drill in Berlin. A regional trial court in 20 killed in election-related incidents according to the BNP. A regional trial court in Angeles, Pampanga orders the arrest of Harry Roque. Bini included in prestigious Forbes 30 under 30 list. And official role of senator judges for impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte revealed by Senate President Cheese Escudero. All of these here on the RBS Evening News. Good evening. To start our newscast tonight, COMELEC says the youth vote drives an 81.65 turnout for these midterm elections, making it a record high in the history of midterms in the country. In a live press conference on Thursday, Commission on Elections Chairman George Erwin Garcia revealed that 81.65% voter turnout in this election is the highest in history of midterm polls in the country. In numbers, a total of 55.87 million voters cast their ballots out the record high 63.43 million registered voters this year. This is close to the record high voter turnout in the 2022 presidential elections, where the turnout rate reached 82.5%. Kabataan ang malaking factor na mataas na voter turnout sa bansa. Base sa inisyal na pagtingin, dumagsa ang mga kabataan sa pagboto. Yung boses nila ay gusto nilang mapakinggan ng sambayanan. Ako, naniniwala ako na yung boto ng youth matters talaga, Garcia added. Garcia also credited the commission for the conduct of the elections and assured voters that their vote will be counted. COMELEC expects to finish the canvassing of certificate of canvass. On Thursday afternoon, Garcia mentioned that it is possible for them to proclaim winning senators by Saturday and party lists by Monday, which he noted will also be the fastest in Philippine history. Meanwhile, Congressman-elect Leila de Lima's camp said Thursday they have yet to receive an official copy of the Court of Appeals decision reversing her 2023 acquittal in one of her illegal drug cases. In May 2023, the Muntinlupa RTC Branch 204 acquitted de Lima due to reasonable doubt, partly based on the resignation of former official Rafael Bracos. However, the CA granted the Solicitor General's petition for secretary, ruling that the lower court decision lacked factual and legal basis and failed to properly evaluate the evidence and legal standards, particularly on the element of conspiracy. The CA remanded the case to the Muntinlupa court, stating that acquittal was based solely on Ragos' retraction without a thorough review of the remaining evidence. De Lima's lawyer, Attorney Nino De Leon, said they were surprised by the media reports, asserting the ruling is not final and they plan to exhaust all legal remedies, possibly up to the Supreme Court. Despite the legal development, De Lima recently accepted a role in the House prosecution team against VP Sara Duterte, confident that truth and justice will prevail. The Paris Special Counsel for Responsible Voting (PPCRV) on Thursday raised concern over supposed discrepancies in the information on the Commission on Elections websites, particularly for Zamboanga City and Dumaguete City. PPCRB spokesperson Anne de Villa-Singson said their coordinations reported the discrepancy between the number of registered voters, the number of voters who actually voted, and the number of ballots cast. For example, Singson said the COMELEC website on May 12 showed that in one area there were 992 registered voters and 768 of them voted, but the number of ballots cast was 999. If 768 actually voted, how come there are 919 ballots cast? Singson asked. She said, the PPCRB has related its concern to the COMELEC, which said that information was mislabeled and that has been corrected. But the PPCRB official urged the poll body to provide more explanation. We hope we are giving a more in-depth explanation rather than just mislabeled. We understand mislabeling can happen, but what was the data that's not originally there? Because that's data in the system that will perhaps help us understand a little bit better, Singson said. We just want to understand a bit more about the mislabeling piece, and we're doing this so there can be no cloud of doubt on our election. Sayang naman we work so hard to make sure that everything is explained. So mislabeled, yes. And then it was relabeled again, she said. But she warned the media against calling the incident Dagdag Bawas for now. Let us just be very measured and very careful at this. No, we cannot call anything Dagdag Bawas as of now, and please, that's what I'm very careful about, Singson said. We cannot claim Dagdag Bawas at any point until the audits are done, so let's make our audits work, she said, referring to PPCRB's parallel count and the ongoing random manual audit. While Senate President Francis Escudero on Thursday said he was unbothered by the pronouncement of Tito Soto, who is poised for a Senate comeback, that he was open to being the Senate chief in the 20th Congress if there are numbers to support him. Katatapos lang ng eleksyon at barangayan at ingay, simulan nyo na naman agad, papalapasin nyo na naman, tapusin na muna natin itong kongresong ito. May dalawang pa kaming linggo na marami pang kaming inaasahang magpapasa at may hahabol ng mga pangukalang batas, Escudero said. Doon muna naman kayo makatutok at hindi yung parating na kongreso, he added. Soto was Senate President from May 2018 until the end of his second term as Senator in June 2022. Escudero thanked Senate President pro tempore Jinggoy Estrada, who expressed preference for him to keep the Senate's helm. It's not a question of hoping, it's not a question of reality. Ulitin ko, ang Senate President dapat may kumpiyansa na higit na mayorya ng Senado, he said. A senator needs the support of at least 30 senators to become Senate President, as the Senate is a continuing body. Escudero keeps his post past the 19th Congress unless and until another senator musters the nod of 13 of the 24-person Senate. Coming up next, more stories when RBS Evening News returns. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the RBS Evening News. Senior citizens lined up at Kadiwa stores and public markets in Kamuning and Pasay on Thursday, May 15, as the Department of Agriculture officially launched its 20 peso per kilo rice program. The program's soft launch on May 13 already drew strong demand, with sellers like Javier Villena noting that they sold 18 sacks in a day. Buyers, including seniors like Marifa Ecominada and Jose Palconin, praises the rice affordability and quality. However, the surge in demand has affected the sales of regular rice and supply remains limited. DA Assistant Secretary Genevieve Guevara said the initial rollout targets 4-piece beneficiaries, solo parents, seniors, and PWDs due to limited stocks. She also cited the election-related ban on aid distribution as a reason for delayed rollouts in some areas. Despite this, the DA hopes to sustain the program throughout the year. The rice currently available in selected areas in Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Rizal. The Philippines and Germany signed a defense cooperation arrangement in Berlin on Wednesday. In a statement, the Department of National Defense said the Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. and German Federal Defense Minister Boris Pistorius agreed to pursue an overarching framework to advance bilateral defense partnership. This is in line with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive to strengthen the country's international ties. The arrangement builds on the 1974 Administrative Agreement concerning the training of the armed forces of the Philippines in Germany, one of Manila's longest defense cooperation frameworks with another country. This also expands cooperation between the two defense and military establishments in the fields of cybersecurity, defense armaments, and logistics, and United Nations peacekeeping, the DND said. Following the signing, both Teodoro and Pistorius will convene the Third Philippines-Germany Security and Defense Staff, talks to review and concentrate proposed joint activities and initiatives to be implemented under said arrangement in the coming year. The Philippines Defense Cooperation Arrangement with Berlin adds to a growing list of defense deals beyond its traditional ally. The United States last month, the Philippines signed a defense agreement with New Zealand for expanded military operations.
Government kicks off its cheaper rice program in Metro Manila after it was delayed due to the elections.
A similar deal with Canada is planned to be signed soon. Meanwhile, a reciprocal access agreement with Japan is currently awaiting ratification in Tokyo, which will provide the basis for the deployment of troops for the two countries' territory. Marcos has also approved the start negotiations with France for a visiting forces agreement. A regional trial court in Angeles, Pampanga has issued an arrest warrant against lawyer Harry Roque and 10 others for alleged human trafficking in relation to a Philippine offshore gaming operator hub in Pampanga. This warrant included a Cassandra Ong, alleged representative of the Pogo hub Lucky South 99 in Porac, Pampanga. Based on a document signed by RTC presiding judge Rene Reyes on May 8, the court found probable cause against Roque, Ong, and 9 others for non-bailable violations under the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003. The Department of Justice had filed qualified human trafficking and regular human trafficking cases against Roque for his alleged participation not just a lawyer for Whirlwind Corporation that leased land to Lucky South 99, but as a supposed representative of the Pogo. Roque, who serves 2 stints as former President Rodrigo Duterte's palace spokesman, left the Philippines in September after being cited for contempt for refusing to attend House hearings into offshore gambling sites used as fronts for criminal activities. In December last year, he filed his counter affidavit from the UAE or United Arab Emirates and denied being the lawyer of Lucky South 99. He has sought asylum in the Netherlands, citing alleged political persecution through unjust prosecution. The DOJ in April said it would block Roque's asylum application once an arrest warrant against him is issued. DOJ Undersecretary Nicolas Felix T. added that once the arrest warrant is out, the Philippine government would request to place Roque under red notice of the International Criminal Police Organization, the global police group that handed the International Criminal Court warrant for former President Rodrigo Duterte. Roque said he would seek all available legal remedies to secure my life and liberty, which are currently under threat. The issuance of the warrant of arrest forms part of the unjust prosecution, which I will include in my application for asylum in the Netherlands as a victim of political persecution owing to my loyalty to the Dutertes. Roque said in a statement, I reiterate, this is not fine as evidence of guilt, but the exercise of a human right to asylum, he added. At least 20 people were killed in incidents related to the midterm elections, the Philippine National Police said Thursday. The PNP said it validated 49 election-related incidents so far, with most of the fatalities coming from Cordillera region. At least 31 people were injured in these incidents. Added PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Jean Bahart-Sich said the PNP was looking into 51 other incidents that occurred on election day, May 12, to determine whether they were related to the polls. While in sports, Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala and Grand Slam champion Coco Gauff exited the Italian Open doubles in the quarterfinal stage after a 3-set loss to defending champions Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini of Italy on Wednesday. Gauff and Ayala pushed for Italian tenant to the decider before bowing out 5-7, 6-3, 7, cheered by the home crowd. Errani and Paolini covered after a letdown in the second set and convened their second point to advance to the semifinals, where they will play the Russian pair of Mira Andreeva and Diana Schneider. Despite the loss, it was a good showing for Ayala and Gauff, who were playing together for the first time. Earlier in the day, Gauff has beaten Andreeva in straight sets, 6-4, 7-6, 7-5, to advance to the semis of the women's singles tournament. Former US Open winner Gauff said that she had a lot of confidence for the last sport, where she could face tournament Arina Sabalenka, with the world number 1 taking on Zhang Qiwan later on Wednesday. Maybe some points were my best. I still managed to be successful, said Gauff. Gauff, 21, is looking for her first title of the season, ahead of Roland Garros starting later this month. After losing the Madrid final to Sabalenka, Indian Wells champion Andreeva, at 18 years old, the youngest woman to reach the last 8 at the Foro Italico since Gauff in 2021, put up surprisingly little resistance in the low-key first set, and Gauff had too much for her in the second, quickly responding to each of Andreeva's breaks off serve before coming through a tricky tie-break. Gauff has already guaranteed her rise to number 2 in the world rankings with her performance in Rome. World number 70, Ayala, for her part, had bowed out at the first hurdle with the loss of Marta Kostyuk in the first round. The RBS Evening News will be right back with more headlines after this. Stay tuned. Okay, 84. Welcome back to the RBS Evening News. Top party list group Akbayan will prioritize filing bills that will end later centralization and political dynasties and help college students finish their studies. Representative Persik Sandanya, the party list group's second nominee, said they will launch anti-endo bill when the 20th Congress opens. It is time for Filipinos to have security of tenure of assurance in their jobs, he said. Sandanya said the party wants to break the cycle of poverty, especially among young people, by helping them finish their studies through the Baon Bill. Under the bill, college students from families currently or formerly receiving aid from the Poor Peace Program of the government should be given a 5,000 pesos monthly allowance. Akbayan will also focus on crafting an enabling law for the anti-political dynasty provision of the Constitution. Kasama po ng basa sa SK Reform Law kung saan nilagyan natin ang anti-political dynasty provision. Balak natin palawakin at i-cover yung iba branches ng gobyerno, he said. Akbayan will also work on bills such as the Students' Rights and Welfare Bill, the SOGSC Equality Bill, and the Alternative Minerals Management Bill to address indiscriminate mining in the Philippines. Senate President Cheese Escudero showed the official robes senator judges will wear during the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. The Oxford Crimson robes, modeled after those worn during the impeachment trial of former Chief Justice Renato Corona, were fitted by the senator judges 2 weeks ago in preparation for the proceedings. Duterte was impeached by the House of Representatives in February for high crimes including an alleged assassination plot against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Duterte's impeachment trial is tentatively scheduled to begin on July 30. For a guilty verdict, Duterte needs 9 votes to preserve any hope of a future presidential run. Escudero said the chamber will balance its time between its legislative work and the impeachment trial. Yun ang sisikami namin gawin at balansihin. Hopefully, yung aming panukalang schedule ay yan makarry ng plenaryo kung saan ang sinabi ko nga sana umaga ang trial at hapon ang sesyon ng Senado. He said. Escudero said he was looking at asking schoolies to allow committee hearings on the 2026 budget alongside the Senate plenary sessions in the afternoons after the impeachment trial. Dapat pahintunulan namin ang committee hearing sa hapon kasabay na plenary kung papahinintulan ng minority. Iwag naman sana maging masyadong stricto sa quorum, lalo na kung local bills ang pinag-usapan at matalakay namin yung budget, he said. The Makabayan Coalition expressed disappointment over the 2025 midterm election results, where political dynasties and traditional politicians dominated the Senate race. In a press conference, Makabayan President and senatorial candidate Liza Masa criticized the victory of candidates aligned with the Marcos and Duterte camps, calling it a result of patronage politics even before the campaign period. Despite setbacks, Maza welcomed the wins of opposition candidates Bam Aquino and Kiko Paglingan, praising their potential roles in pushing for impeachment proceedings and higher wages. She also congratulated party's nominees Chel Jokno of Akbayan and Leila Dilema of Mamamayang Liberal, and ACT Teachers and Kabataan party list for securing seats. Gabriela's fate remains uncertain, ranking 55th in the count. Through none of its Senate bets won, Makabayan thanked its supporters and denounced the red tagging and harassment it endured. That its continued presence shows the people's strength and defiance. While in entertainment, former Miss World Philippines Laura Lehman has given birth to her first child with her husband, basketball player Von Pesuma. she gave her social media followers a glimpse of their baby girl named Solana in an Instagram post on Wednesday. "Welcome to the world, Solana," she said, showing her and Pesumal holding their child's little hand. Fans and friends of the couple congratulated them on their newest milestone, including Lemon's fellow beauty queens. Among them are Miss World 2013 Megan Young, Miss Universe Philippines 2025 first runner-up Winwin Marquez, and Miss Echo International 2018 Fia Polania. "Congratulations, Laura and Vaughn." "Hi, Solana," said Young, who is also expecting their first child with her husband, actor Micaelda S. A TV host and former courtside reporter Lemon entered the pageant, seen in 2014 via Bidding Bidding Pilipinas, where she finished as first runner-up. She went to join Miss World Philippines in 2017 and won the top crown. This allowed her to represent the country in Miss World that same year, placing in the top 40 and winning the pageant Beauty with a Purpose competition. Also in entertainment, Philippine girl group Beanie, composed of members Aya, Colette, Gwen, Joanna, Maloy, Mika, Sheena, and Stacy, made it to the top 2025 Forbes 30 under 30 list. Beanie was among the 4,500 nominees and 300 entries. Forbes has received across different countries in Asia and Pacific, including Australia, Japan, China, South Korea, Singapore, India, Indonesia, and more. This list includes exemplary individuals including venture capitalists, activists, artists, athletes, and more. Some of the members of Class 2024 are Jin Kim, 28, co-founder of Seoul-based Link Alpha in South Korea. 29-year-old Kazuki Yumiba co-founded Hopster from Japan, which enables manufacturers to automate quality inspections to reduce costs. Sister Raina and Ray Ambani, 24 and 28, who launched Mumbai-based activewear company Teractive, and more. Forbes 30 Under 30 has been published annually by Forbes magazine since 2011, consisting of 30 notable people under 30 years in various industries. The entrepreneurs and innovators on this year's list had a bold vision for the future, one that largely powered by AI. The group is also on their way to Dubai for their first stop of their Miniverse World Tour. And that has been it for the RBS Evening News. For more of the latest news and stories, you may always tune into RBS, RBS Sen, or log on to rbsnews.com. That has been the headlines, the stories that matter. I am Oski Walden. Thank you for being with us, and have a good evening.